Hello, my name is Micah and I'm a therapist and guide in Boulder, Colorado. And one of the main groups of people I work with is young men who are suffering with ADHD, which is Attention Deficit Hyperactivity Disorder. Now, ADHD is diagnosed for about 7 to 11% of the population, and the average age of diagnosis is age 7 for young men. Women have less than half of the diagnosis rate at about 3%. And it's a disorder that affects children starting as young as 3 or even younger sometimes, but can really affect a person for their whole life. So for me, as someone who's been diagnosed with ADHD and had to learn how do I manage my homework, how do I manage schoolwork, paying the bills, keeping things clean, and really just staying engaged in situations that aren't really that interesting to me. And I think we all have that in life. Maybe it's paying taxes or bills or taking the garbage out. It really doesn't bring a lot of interest. But for someone with ADHD to do that, it actually takes more energy for them to get their brain engaged and get moving than it takes for someone without ADHD. So I can tell you more about that in an informational video on ADHD that you can click to here. So I wanted to tell you a little bit about the skills and tools I offer to young men with ADHD. And the first one is tracking sensation. So this is a mindfulness exercise or a somatic exercise where we're learning to track what's going in our body and how it feels. So oftentimes, I know for myself and some of the clients I worked with, is when you're experiencing a lot of the symptoms of ADHD and feeling more out of control with it, it can feel like 0 to 60. It's like you're sitting in class and you're maybe not super bored and not really engaged, but all of a sudden it's like you have this hot anxiety or big energy built up in your body. So you're not noticing how the wave is building. Because what I found and what science is showing us is that as you start to lose focus and your brain waves are slowing down and you're not putting as much output in your brain, and as you're building up anxiety, it's not on or off, but rather it comes in cycles. So the first skill that we work on is sensation tracking, so that we can know when we're at risk for feeling super wound up or anxious. And that brings us up into our next skill, which is learning how to formulate requests. Now, this is a part of nonviolent communication and some other skill sets, but really, once you start learning what you're feeling and noticing in your body, that's a great tool to have for self-awareness, but then you also need the tools to advocate for yourself. So oftentimes in the classroom, there can be an understanding from the teacher to the student where when a student's feeling a certain way, there might be a strategy they can find, such as taking a walk in the hall, standing up in the back of the classroom, maybe going outside for 5 minutes, 3 minutes, whatever is really agreeable and allowed in the school. And this is where it all starts to come together, and we have to help design something that works for your son or works for you. So through this process, you're tracking your sensations and you're learning to formulate requests. And now, the other piece is that I really like to work on a component of adventure. So adventure is different for everyone. Everyone has a different threshold. Some people need to climb a mountain. Some people it's nice just to go to the park and explore, climb a tree, or even just sit by a river. What I found and what the research is showing us is that people with ADHD, when they're active, when they have some way to engage in a physical way in their life on a routine basis, that they're actually better engaged and perform better in school. Another way to put that is that their symptoms of ADHD, the hyperactivity and maybe the impulsiveness, actually decrease. So that's without the use of medication and without the use of other therapeutic interventions. But just that one piece alone, I really want to bring home that by going out and going on an adventure, engaging in the natural world, engaging and getting embodied in yourself through physical means, really is a great strategy that anyone can access to help reduce their symptoms of ADHD. So thank you so much for listening to this video. And I really wanted to offer my services to everyone that's still listening to let you know that if you're liking what you're hearing, I offer a 1-hour free consultation. Now this can happen over the phone or in person, and the whole purpose of that consultation is to really see, are we a good fit? Is the skill set I have and the needs of your family, is that a good match? Other parts we look at is, where are you really wanting to go? What are your needs? What are your goals? And where are you now? And in that consultation, we'll start designing a roadmap to get you to where you want to go, to get your family back in harmony and help your son get through school and really thrive. So thank you so much for listening, and I really look forward to hearing from you.